Hi guys, and welcome to our Money in the Bank 2022 prediction video. Yes, I am back with Callum. Sadly, not in person like I was for Hell in a Cell. That was just a nice one-off because I was visiting him in Bedford. But I'm back in Liverpool now, but back to our old Zoom format. And yes, we are back for Money in the Bank. Yes, what is meant to be one of the bigger shows of the year. It's a show I usually do look forward to. The last few Money in the Banks have been pretty good. I thought last year was really good with Roman and Edge, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. Both Money in the Bank matches I thought were really good. With Big E and Nikki ASH winning. So yeah. So yes, this year we are back, but it's in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. It was meant to be in the Allegiant Stadium, big 70,000 seat stadium, but they couldn't sell enough tickets. So they're in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Whatever. Before we get to predictions, yeah, my hype for this year's Money in the Bank, it's a bit like that, really. I've said this for Backlash. I said this for Hell in a Cell. It's like we're in this filler period between the bigger shows with WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and of course Roman Reigns not defending his belt for a third, or his belts for a third pay-per-view in a row. Apart from SmackDown against Riddle, but whatever. But yeah, Callum, any thoughts for?
Yeah, I mean, besides the two Money in the Bank matches, I don't really care too much about. I mean, there's one other match which I'm a bit intrigued about, but then
Yeah,
otherwise it's not like, Money in the Bank's normally just to see who wins the briefcases, who's going to get the contracts, and then, well, especially on this occasion, there's nothing much else to really write home about, really. But anyway, we kind of said a similar thing about what was the pay-per-view for Hell in a Cell, and it was a really good show. So I'm sure the matches will be good still. It's just whether or not I'm invested in the matches. So I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, without further ado, let's get started then. So yes, first match we have. Okay, let's go with a tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Yes, we have the Usos, Jay and Jimmy, defending the belts, going up against the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. So on paper, I think this has all the makings of a really good match. And I'm excited for it. Well, I'm excited for the match, but I feel like there's been little to no feud apart from they had a stare down last night on SmackDown, but apart from that, there's no feud. But and I'll start with this one. I'm gonna say the Usos retain. I don't think they're dropping the belts yet. As much as I like the Street Profits, I think they could do with a good little tag team run. And the Usos, they've had those SmackDown tag team belts for nearly a year now. I think it's over 300 days. So it's quite impressive that now. And that, of course, now they've got both belts when they beat RK Bro a few months back. So I'm going to go with Usos, but I think it'll be a really solid, really good tag team match between both teams. But I'm going to say Usos retain. Callum?
Yeah, same. I don't think there's much more to say. Yeah, obviously Shinsuke got injured, so anything that they were planning on doing with Riddle and Shinsuke with the Usos obviously had to be put on the back burner and whatever. So I think the Street Profits kind of just got thrown in because they're the rest of an established team or whatever. But I just can't see, while Roman's still got the undisputed Universal title, that the Usos lose the tag team titles either. So keep the bloodline going, which I'm assuming is what they're going to do anyway, at least for a bit longer. And yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good match, but I think the Usos will definitely retain.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty straightforward. We're all going with the Usos. Well, we're all, it's only me and you. That's good. So Usos to retain. Okay, next up, let's have a little look. So there's 6 matches, so we've done that's 1 so far. But okay. Next up, we have it's a singles match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Yes, we have Rowdy Ronda Rousey going up against Natalya. Yeah. Callum, who've you got and why? Oh,
This is one of the matches that I was talking about not really caring too much about.
same.
I honestly can't even remember how Natalia. She won like a fatal. Was it a fatal 4-way or something?
Let me check. I'm on storylines. Natalia, she won a 6-pack challenge. Yeah.
I think I remember Shotzi and Aaliyah, and I think Raquel Rodriguez was in it as well, wasn't she? I can't really remember all the contestants, but really, SmackDown doesn't have Charlotte Flair's not there. Sasha and Naomi are MIA. Whereas if this was the whole story with Sasha and Naomi, it probably should have been, I think, Sasha versus Ronda at this pay-per-view. Because the story is that Sasha was going to have the match and lose and whatever. So, Sasha and Ronda probably would have been a lot better of a match than Ronda and Natalia. But, I don't know. I guess Natalia and Ronda have a little bit of history. Like, Natalia was her friend when she first started in WWE and, and whatever. But, I don't know. I just not really that interested, really. I mean, I think anyone else, well, I don't know. Ronda's definitely going to retain. I don't really know what to say about it. I'm waffling now, but realistically, it's just one of those things that I'm not too bothered about. So Ronda Rousey to definitely retain the SmackDown Women's title.
Yep, I fully agree. Ronda Rousey will retain. Last night on SmackDown, Natalia came out dressed up as Ronda, impersonating her, and I was just like, what is this? Oh God, man. Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against Natalia. She's a former women's champion. She's a former women's tag team champion with Tamina. She's at this point in her career, she's like a veteran. And she's a good wrestler. And I'm sure her and Ronda will have a decent match. But I just don't care. And I think this is Ronda's first defense too, because she didn't defend it at Hell in a Cell on pay-per-view. So I mean, the best they could get was Natalia, but whatever. Sorry, Natalia. So yeah, I'm going Ronda to retain. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say. And hopefully for SummerSlam they have something better lined up for Ronda. I think hopefully, I don't know, Bailey. We'll see. Yeah, maybe Bailey. Okay, and moving on. Next match we have. Let's go with a singles match for the WWE United States Championship. Yes, we have Austin Theory defending the belt, going up against Bobby Lashley. And you know what? This is a match I'm semi-excited for because I've quite enjoyed this feud. On a Raw, like they're doing the whole flexing contests, and obviously Lashley's way more buff than Austin Theory, but Theory's still pretty hench. That's been fun. They've been like squirting like oil in their eyes or something, but whatever. It's whatever. It is what it is. But it's an interesting concept, and it's cool to see Bobby Lashley back in the US title picture. I think he was the last person to really have a good / great reign with the US belt back in 2020, 2021. So he could win it back here. But Austin Theory's had a decent little run. He had that defense, didn't he, against Ali at Hell in a Cell. And this is quite tricky because you could see Austin Theory retaining. Maybe he cheats because he is like the future of the company, whereas Bobby Lashley is in his 40s now. He's probably only got a few years left, but he's still like an amazing shape, Bobby Lashley. It's tricky. But I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley to win because I think this is a bit bold, but John Cena, he's coming back on Raw, isn't he? I think, and I think it's pretty obvious we're going to be getting John Cena and Theory at SummerSlam. So something's telling me John Cena is going to come out at Money in the Bank and cost distraction, and it cost Austin Theory the match. Like he'll distract Theory, and then Lashley will probably hit the Dominator or the Full Nelson to win the US title, and then we have a bit of a rivalry for Cena and Theory heading into SummerSlam. That's my prediction. So I'm going with Bobby Lashley to win the belt with a little help from John Cena, distracting Theory. So, Callum, who have you got?
Yeah. I just don't see how they can, unless through some kind of shenanigans or something, I just don't see how they can have Bobby Lashley lose. Mm-hmm. Which is why, otherwise I might have said, yeah, Theory to retain, he's the future, whatever. But I feel like he was handpicked by Vince, hence why Vince was his kind of mentor for a bit. With Vince now, I mean, Vince has been actually knocking around more recently, but with all the things being said about him stepping down as CEO, all those kind of things, I don't know if Stephanie, Triple H, whoever ends up actually being, whoever has the most sane things right now, whether they'll be as high on Theory as what Vince was. I think they are going to do John Cena and Theory. And I mean, I don't know who's going to win that match when it comes to SummerSlam, but I'm going to say Bobby Lashley to win. But I don't think there's going to be any distraction necessarily. I think, because I feel like it'll take away from the victory of Bobby Lashley. I don't know. I just think Bobby's got too much for Theory. In fairness,
I'll be surprised if Lashley wins clean, because I don't think Vince wants Theory getting pinned clean, but we'll see. That's why I think a distraction with John Cena. But okay, but we're both going with Bobby Lashley. Okay, I thought you'd pick Theory, but okay, we're both going with Lashley. Okay, cool. Dun, 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 dun. Right, what's next? We've done that. Okay, before we get to the Money in the Bank matches, so we have a singles match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Yes, we have Bianca Belair defending her belts. It was originally going to be Rhea Ripley, but then she got injured, sadly. And who was her replacement? Carmela. So we've got Bianca Belair versus Carmela. Now, this is a match I wouldn't care about if it was on Raw, let alone a pay-per-view. I mean, I love Bianca Belair, but Carmela, she's just been a complete non-entity for me for years. Carmela, sorry, she does absolutely nothing for me, and I just think her versus Bianca, I just think it's a bit of a waste. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I think Bianca deserved a better opponent than this, and she had one with Rhea, but then she got injured, like I said. So sorry, Callum, you take it away. Who have you got?
Bianca. I don't really think there's much to say, but like you, yeah. I mean, it was a five-way, wasn't it? I think it was Becky, Asuka, Alexa, Liv, and Carmela.
Yeah,
had a five-way.
Yeah.
And Carmela pinned Liv Morgan.
Yeah, she won a fatal five-way. Yeah,
I know that Alexa and Liv are in the women's Money in the Bank match anyway. But I mean, it could have been either of them, and neither. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just think out of the four people or the four other people who were in the match, I would rather have seen any of them face Bianca, even if it was Becky again. But it is what it is. You've got Carmela. I think it's going to be obviously, it'll be a match. I don't think it's not going to be a quick one, but I think Bianca will obviously retain.
Might be quick, so, just a KOD in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
That'll be great.
I think Carmela's definitely improved as a wrestler over the years, but I mean, I don't know. Let's just wait and see what the match is like. It's just a bit of an underwhelming opponent for me, I think. But yeah, Bianca Belair to retain.
Yeah. Okay. So both with Bianca. Okay. So have we disagreed on any match yet?
I don't think so. No.
Blimey. Okay.
Maybe the Money in the Bank matches we will. Maybe we will.
Maybe we'll see. I think the Money in the Bank matches are a bit predictable, but we'll see. I might not be saying that next Saturday. Okay, so let's start off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match for a women's championship contract. So yes, we have Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, and Shotzi Blackheart, who won her match last night, and there's yet to be confirmed entrant who will probably be announced next week. We don't know who it's going to be. So yeah, that's 5 women. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 women. Sorry. So I'll start with this one. Who have I got to win? Let me have a look at the women against Lacey. I haven't really thought about this match. You could see any of these women winning. Maybe apart from Asuka. I think Shotzi, Raquel, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss could win it again. And I know Alexa Bliss and Asuka are previous Money in the Bank winners. Lacey Evans is a good shout. I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan. I'm going to say Liv Morgan. I think she's probably the slight favourite. I think right now, even though we don't know who the final woman will be. Might be Bailey, might be Sasha. We'll see. We'll see next week. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Liv Morgan because I think she'd be a good Money in the Bank holder. I could just see her like posing with the briefcase, and I think she'd be. I think her time as a future women's champion is getting closer. You know, I think she's becoming. She's done the work of that feud with Becky earlier on in the year, and I think she's slowly becoming one of the maybe top women in the company. So I think her time is coming. So yeah, give her the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then she can cash in on Bianca, or well, she's not going to cash in on Ronda, is she? I doubt it. So she might cash in on Bianca maybe at SummerSlam. So yeah, who have you got, Callum?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it were to be Rhea and Bianca that had the match at Money in the Bank, that Rhea with the Judgment Day and everything else probably would have won. So I was going to go with Liv Morgan because then if she'd won Money in the Bank with the the stuff with her and Rhea, she probably would have ended up cashing in on Rhea. But now, I mean, I don't even know how long Rhea's out for. I don't know if it's a serious injury. I don't think anyone's really said anything. I don't know, actually. I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with Liv Morgan. I don't know. I was on and on because I said earlier I was going to go for Raquel Rodriguez, but then, I don't know. I feel like... I'll stick with Liv Morgan. I feel like it's a bit of a safer pick, but if anything, I need some better predictions. I've been a bit wild this year, and I'm a little bit low in the leaderboard. So,
okay, so Liv Morgan, both. Well, I've got a feeling we're both going to go with the same person for the men's too. I think the men's. Well, I think the men's is very obvious, but we'll see. We'll see. So, okay, and then for the final match, yes, because like I said, there's no world title match. Gunther isn't defending the IC belt on this pay-per-view. He just squashed Ricochet last night. That was it. What else isn't being defended on this pay-per-view? Well, I say the women's tag team belts, but that's another story, isn't it, with Sasha and Naomi?
They were supposed to be having a tournament, and they seem to. Well, I don't think there's enough women to even make a tag team to make 8 tag teams. So I don't think that would actually be possible if they wanted to. And so I think they've kind of just forgotten that the women's tag team titles exist. So,
oh well, okay, yeah, and we know we're getting Roman and Brock at SummerSlam. Can't wait. Okay, so the men's Money in the Bank ladder match for a World Championship match contract. So yes, we have Seth freaking Rollins, we have Sheamus, we have Drew McIntyre, Omos. And Sami Zayn, who beat Shinsuke last night to get his place in the match, and yet to be confirmed. I don't get why they can't announce the match quicker. It's next weekend. We've only got one more Raw and SmackDown. They haven't, whatever. So there's still 2 yet to be confirmed. This one is a bit harder. But Callum, out of those 5 men, I think it's pretty obvious. It comes down to 2 men. Who have you got and why?
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not going to be Omos or Sheamus. I can't imagine. Sheamus.
Could you imagine if Omos won? Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Oh god.
Yeah, surely it can't be Omos. Sheamus is very underrated, but I don't think he's not going to have like a world title push again. I can't imagine. Drew, well. He wants a match where he's kind of said that he's having a match with Roman at Clash of the Castle already, although he could win Money in the Bank and solidify, just say, I'm cashing in at Clash of the Castle, that's how I'm going to do it. So, I mean, I was thinking about Drew, but the one that makes the most sense is Seth freaking Rollins. Because Seth has lost to Cody 3 times in a row recently. He also lost in the future to Edge at the end, like last year. Everything, like, you know, Seth's has had a really tough time over the last few years. He's been always really consistent. I can't remember the last title he had. I think was it like I can't remember. It was Universal. Was it his Universal Championship when we lost to the Fiend? Was it the last one we had?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah. And I don't know. I just, you know, feel like if anyone deserves it right now, it's him. And also, Cody Rhodes is injured until, fingers crossed, Royal Rumble, let's say. Seth hasn't finished business with Roman. Seth wins Money in the Bank. Roman, I don't know, beats Lesnar or whatever at SummerSlam, or maybe we wait till Clash of the Castle or whatever. But at some point, Seth Rollins will cash in again on Roman Reigns. And then we'll get Cody winning the Royal Rumble. Main event of WrestleMania next year is Cody and Seth for the Universal Championship.
Or I wouldn't say main event for the Rock and Roman will main event.
Oh well.
Maybe night one.
Yes, possibly.
Yeah.
But either way, that's the vision that I see, and that would mean that Seth Rollins needs to win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I agree. I think Seth Rollins right now, even though there's still 2 more men to be announced next week, I think Seth is the strong favourite. Yeah, he's been losing a lot, but I don't think that's really hurt Seth, in my opinion, because he's had such amazing matches and he's such an amazing performer. You know, the gimmick, there's the whole laughing. He's like, oh, when he comes out. You know, I think his feud with Cody was great, and yet I saw a thing on Facebook saying even though he's had to put over a lot of people the last few years, he still feels like one of the top guys in the company. And you could see him being a 2-time Money in the Bank winner and doing what he did back in 2015 and cashing in on Roman again. Maybe at SummerSlam, maybe at Clash in the Castle with Drew and Roman. We'll see. It could be Drew. Drew's. I think that's the second highest chance, but I'd rather see Drew just have a match with Roman, not cash in. I don't think Money in the Bank really suits Drew. I think it suits more of Seth's heel coward character. So yeah, I'm going to say Seth Rollins wins his second Money in the Bank. When was Seth? It was 2014 he won Money in the Bank, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was, and then he cashed in WrestleMania 31, wasn't it? That was 15, because he had it for ages, didn't he? Had it for a long time.
Yeah, long time. Okay, but yeah, so yet to be confirmed. We'll see who the other 2 men are. If I think the other 2 men announced next week have a slight chance, I might change my prediction because but I do think Seth is still the strong favorite. Whoever gets announced next week, maybe Edge or maybe John Cena announces himself. No, I can't see that. Okay. But yeah, that's it for Money in the Bank. I hope it's a good show. You know, like I said, me and Callum's are hype for Backlash and Hell in a Cell were a bit, but they ended up being pretty good shows. So hopefully it's the same for Money in the Bank. And yeah, after Money in the Bank, it's all we're marching forward to SummerSlam. Yes, one of the big ones, and hopefully. I know I keep saying this, but hopefully Liam and Laura, the 4 of us will be here, touch wood, for SummerSlam, because that's one of the big ones. And I'm hoping all 4 of us, because we haven't done a video together, me, Callum, Laura, and Liam, since WrestleMania last year. Blimey. Well, to be fair, Callum has a very busy life, so does Laura and Liam. So yeah, it's hard to fit all our schedules on the same time, so fair enough. So yeah. So thank you very much for joining me, Callum. It's been a pleasure as always.
Always a pleasure. And will always continue to be one so long as you have me.
Always, Dave. Always. So yes, and we hope you'll enjoy Money in the Bank. And I'll be back with Callum and hopefully Laura and Liam. Probably late July. I think it's mid-late July is SummerSlam, I think. So yeah. Back with our SummerSlam predictions in mid to late July. So thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you all very soon.